All right, on the parts machine, we ran it for the last time until we pull the motor because the fuel tank is going on this one. This fuel tank was so rusty that they're thinking it's going to be $300 to $500 to get it cleaned out and lined, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow we'll pull the other one. I'm pretty sure that we have a good, clean, usable fuel tank on the parts machine. You can see how bad the sending unit is, how crusty it is. So, and that's out of the original fuel tank. So we were moving this and the unit died, and I think it sucked up dirt in that filter. Thank God they had that. So we're going to do a complete go over on the fuel system. Field ready combine. We're going to make sure that ain't going to hurt our injection pump. While we're back here though and the fuel tank is removed, about every Massey I bought, this slip clutch has to be changed. So we're going to take that apart and check it. And while we're there, we are going to do this belt. Probably would run, but she's getting dry, and that'll be the only belt that I change as of right now, because that we're there and it's the hardest thing. Even though we could go to the field with that, I won't deny that, but we're not going to since we've got this open. So this was on so tight I had to use a 1/2-inch impact to break it loose. It's a jam nut for that. We need to check these in the book, but I think we already have some farmer stuff going on here because we have washers jammed up, which I'm not surprised. It was slipping. So I'm thinking we'll look in the book, but I bet you those are not. Oh, here's another one. We'll have to see about this one. There should be, yep, here's another washer. There should be, if I remember right, like a little thrust bearing, which is probably right in there. So, I'm pretty sure that we are going to have a slip clutch that's wore out. Very common. Very common on your Masseys, 510, 410, 300, 540, 550. So we will investigate our parts machine out there, of course. But, well, we have it off. Doesn't look too bad, but it's flat up here at the top. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. They're pretty proud of that part. But I also think we have a bearing going out. You can't never see it. It's a sealed bearing, little like 7/8 bearing back there. So what that means is one thing leads to another. And it's on the inside. Sorry, it's on the inside of here. So that means that we have to take the return elevator chain out and be able to slide this whole thing out that assembly on that side. So that's the joys of a Massey for you. They were not as easy to work on as one would like. That would have been on the outside, that'd have been great, but they had alignment issues, so that's why it's on the inside. So would it have ran? Maybe. Would it have started a fire? Possibly. Burned up your combine. But we're not going to overhaul this, but we are going to address issues that we find so that when the time comes this fall, we can keep moving forward. Got to put a puller on that and pull it off, and then we're on to the next thing. All right, gentlemen, don't assume she's field ready. That I don't even know if they forgot the lock collar, eccentric locking collar, or if it's machined off to nothingness or machined into there. This was crammed. That's why all them washers were on there. You can't just keep cramming. You have a problem. If your slip clutch is out, you can't just keep cramming it tighter and tighter and running. It's a wonder this didn't even start a fire. So we'll have to see. Hopefully this shaft is not bad. It looks like it very well might be. So we got a parts combine. So we're going to have to tear into that one and tear into this one at the same time. So you get to do the job twice when you have a parts combine, or you can just buy your parts and do it once. So there's the carnage, and we will get back with you. So what that's going to make us do is we're going to adjust our elevator, because we got to take the chain off anyway, and we'll be able to investigate everything in here. So we got to get this shield opened up. All right, shield is open. We've got to loosen this belt. This belt looks pretty good, I think. We'll investigate it when it's loose, but we will probably be running that one on the rethrash, because I don't anticipate much rethrashing in corn. Looks like kind of a common thing here. At one time they did have some breakage there where that idler broke out of that auger tube. So that's pretty common. This is a common repair if you're going to buy a used combine. That sunflower clutch, that's what I call it, is probably always going to be out. I don't know how long they last. I've replaced a lot of them, but then I've sold the combines before I ever needed to do it again. Not selling this one. While I'm in here, I'm going to do the bearings, everything like that, just so we know we're done here. Got to have the right tools for the right job. We had to loosen the bolts off the pulley, then use a puller to pull that. And it gave us just enough room to get behind it, so you're not bending things up. Now, we take out the chain. Those bolts around that circle, that whole thing will come out as an assembly with the auger. We have everything. We have the chain undone underneath. The master link is out right down there. Have all the bolts out here. Now we have to take off the 3 bolts on the flangette over there, and my son has pulled the bottom sieve out. I don't think you can see anything in there, but we got to get down to that underneath there. So yeah. Now how you would normally access that flangette under there is take off those bolts. That shoe will move upwards approximately 6 to 8 inches, maybe a foot. But I think we can do this tonight by taking the bolts out, and then that whole thing will come out right there. I'm going to hit this side. He's going to be on the other side. You'll have to pardon the fan, but we're getting ready for a heat wave and it's hot out here. So he's going to go to the other side. I'm going to hit this. I put the nut on to protect the threads. However, I think the shaft is bad. And we're going to see how she comes out of here yet tonight. Now the chain is probably catching it, even though I have it split. I have the chain hanging down there. I'm just going to screw it out. This repair kind of has me excited because it kind of proves what I thought. This is a low hour machine. Now this is the return auger, but the paint is barely wore off of it. And what's exciting to me is the rubber on this chain is in very good shape. So everything here points to a low hour machine, in my opinion. So that bearing, there looks like a shelf right there, would have been all the way back there. So what we have to do is, what we can do is what I call trading money for time. We could probably buy this, have it machined. We'll know more when we get it out of the parts combine, and we'll be able to ascertain the wear on that one. That is a unit that is 1,880 hours. Also, so there's our bad bearing. So that, I don't even know if that ever had a lock collar put on it. Could have been a mistake from the factory. There's how, if you look, they got them little pieces of tin to hold the bolt on, so you can kind of get things lined up and they won't fall out on you. Those little keeper tins. We lost one, probably was rusty. So that's the trick, because you can't get in there, so you wouldn't have to undo the shoe to get in there. So, also, this sprocket is in very nice shape. I've seen these slanted very much. So I'm pretty excited about this, and that's going to conclude this video.